Everyone, how are you? Cameras on, please. Mr. Badur, this is empty. What's going on? I always expect your questions. What's going on here? No questions? Oh, there's Miss New York. I see you. All right. I see Edith. Ed, what's up? Where's Tina? Tina, camera. Arlene. Jessica, Daniela, Joel. No questions today. Ready for New Jersey? Okay. See. Been taking tons of practice tests. It's Bernie. There you go. Hey Jen, how are you? Jen, I sent you a message. I was just confirming if that was you. I imagine so because of the question on WhatsApp. So Jen, I just sent you a message on WhatsApp earlier. Just reply so I'm 100% sure that's you. Okay. All right. We've got 3 people watching on YouTube. Welcome. Make sure you guys ask questions along the way, please. Right? And for you guys on Zoom, make sure you ask questions as well along the way. Arlene, camera, adjust the camera, please. Let me see Arlene's forehead. Yeah. Tina, can you hear me now? Still can't hear me. Okay. Everybody else can hear me except Tina. Team. Of course. You can hear me now? Yeah, it was Max. All right, Francesca, I had the same issue. Bottom left says join with audio. I had to click on it. Yep. Okay. Well, that's Zoom. But for Tina's issue, it's Mac. Can't believe it. And you Portuguese? Portuguese that surrenders to Mac. That's terrible. Anyway, moving forward. All right. Sure. What we got? Let's see. Oh, Diana's on. Great. Arlene, just lower the camera, Arlene. I can't see you, please. Hear me. Nice tails, Nadia. All right. Ready to start. All right, guys. So we're done with the national portion. Now we're going to go into New Jersey specific. Now it's not going to be long chapters. Very short. Like this one is 14 pages. The other one's like 12 pages. These are not long, and I'm going to use it more as a review than anything else. Okay. There's only, I think, 2 chapters from now on. 2 chapters are longer chapters, but the majority of them are very short. But we're going to use these chapters as review. So far, it's what I've been doing is I always go back and forth and make a few mentions of stuff from first week, second week, and so on. But New Jersey does have a few things that are specific to them. So whatever I feel it's redundant, like we've covered so many times, I'll just move forward, or I make a quick reference. Whatever I feel like I need to slow down and make sure you guys pay attention to, I will let you guys know. But that's what I feel based on the years of teaching, right? And now teaching this book, which I've been teaching since September. I mean, real estate is real estate. It's just the book format that changed, right? Now, what I want to say with that is, this is what I feel it's the best way to do it. But if you, at any point, if you have questions and say, hey, Bruno, I did not understand this, can you stop, go back, please explain, as we've been doing all along, make sure you do stop me and make sure you do ask questions. Okay? Ready? Great. So, New Jersey regulatory environment. So we're obviously going to talk about New Jersey's Real Estate Commission. We did talk about statute rules and all that regarding the national portion. Now it's state. So New Jersey Real Estate Commission, how it's organized, its responsibilities and functions. So at this point, if there's anybody watching this that's not taking the New Jersey license, I don't know if this will help you much. You can use it as a review, exclude the New Jersey portions because the rest is all the same. But unless it's New Jersey specific, these are not the chapters for you. Okay. So New Jersey Real Estate Commission. The New Jersey Real Estate Commission was established in 1921 to administer and enforce New Jersey's real estate license law. And the commission is a division of the New Jersey Department of Banking and Insurance. So you see right here, it's in green, so it's important. We don't have a New Jersey Real Estate Commission as a standalone. It's a part of the Department of Banking and Insurance. Okay? Which is funny because even though we deal with banks, there is some insurance in real estate. It's not its own thing here. It should be its own thing. But they made it as a division of the bigger and broader DOBI, which is DOBI's Department of Banking and Insurance. Now, the New Jersey Real Estate Commission consists of 8 members. 8 members. 5 of these members have been licensed as brokers for at least 10 years. Look how I have it highlighted. This is what's important. 5 are brokers for at least 10 years. Actively for at least 10 years. 2 of them are members of the public, so represent the public. And 1 represents the government. Okay? So, 8 members. 5, 2, 1. 5 are brokers. 2 represent the public, and 1 represents the government. Okay? On a side note, I was just watching this and the way I have it highlighted. I just remembered I saw 2 schools using the Dearborn version, which is the previous book I was using, right? With my highlights. The funniest thing. 2 schools using my highlights in their books and their teaching. Crazy, right? And I already know of a couple of schools that got a hold of my questions and they're stealing my questions from the practice exam. Funny. Anyway, whatever. Famous, man, that's it. Anyway, I have a lot of fun with this. Yeah, Denise. Actually, they have. Know exactly a couple of those people, yeah. Even paid for the course, never took the license, showed up, tested, just to get all the questions. All right. Okay. I enjoy it. That means I'm doing something good. That's all I can say. I could be upset, or I can take it as I got this, you know? Next, members. Members are appointed by the governor and can be removed by the governor for cause. Now, members, they serve 3-year terms, except for the governmental member whose the term of length is determined by the governor. So, 3-year terms for these. The brokers and the two that represent the general public, they are there for 3 years. The one that represents the government, well, is there at the pleasure of the governor. If the governor says, hey, you're here for 1 week, then it's there for 1 week. You're here for 1 year or 10 years or whatever, then that's what it is. Okay? Now, the commission is divided into 4 sections, or contains 4 sections. We have the investigation section, right? And they investigate the applicant's qualifications and complaints against licensees and unlicensed individuals engaging in the practice of real estate. We have the real estate education section that deals with me and with you. So it reviews the qualifications and regulates the activities of real estate schools and instructors. And we have the Bureau of Subdivided Land Sales Control, which enforces New Jersey's Real Estate Sales Full Disclosure Act. And we have the Hearings and Regulatory Affairs section, which processes the Commission's rulemaking activities and handles contested cases and prosecutes certain uncontested matters. Now, the Commission is responsible for supervising and regulating education, examination, licensing for all real estate brokers, broker salespersons, and salespersons, regulating and selling and leasing of out-of-state property to New Jersey residents when advertised in New Jersey, investigating and adjudicating disciplinary actions against licensees, and administering the Real Estate Guarantee Fund, which we'll talk about later. So everything else, very similar to what we talked in the national portion, okay? Except for the Guarantee Fund. In the national portion, we talked about a bond or insurance. They have a fund set aside, okay? Random stuff. The Real Estate Commission meets approximately 36 times a year, so it's not tested, but they meet 36 times a year and they perform the following activities. So they either issue or deny licenses. They prescribe pre-license education courses, approves continuing education courses, establishes standards of practice for licensees, proposes new rules and amendments to real estate licensing law, regulates and registers out-of-state sales through New Jersey brokers. They conduct investigations and hearings to revoke licenses and or sanctions violators of New Jersey law. And finally, they administer and enforce the Real Estate Sales Full Disclosure Act. Hey, Rose. Good evening. This is the Real Estate Commission. So yes, it's like a state board of real estate. Yes. Hey, Rose, that second one was not easy, right? Tina says, I used to work for State Board of Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC. Oh, cool. You used to? So you gave up on the governmental jobs? Yeah? When you had your son 3 years ago, you said, husband, you take care of it. I'm staying at home. Is that it? Not bad. Is your husband Portuguese too? I was just wondering, because otherwise he would be like, no, you go work, I stay home with the baby. He's sending you back to work 3 years later? There you go. All right. Licensing regulation. So this is the same as it's the same as the national portion. Okay, and look what it says. It says anyone anyone who is involved directly or indirectly in real estate transaction for compensation must be licensed. So let me zoom in. For compensation must be licensed. So if you're helping anybody, and this was in the national portion, this is in the state portion, if you're helping anybody sell their home or rent their home or buy a home or rent a home, right? Then if you expect compensation, what do you need? A license. If you're doing it for free, right? Do you need a license? No. Only if you expect compensation. If you do it for free, and when we're saying for free, meaning not even exchange of services, because that's compensation. It's consideration, okay? So this includes real estate brokers, broker salespersons, and anyone representing him or herself as authorized to act in these roles. The transaction involving compensation of any of all the following: to list, sell, purchase, rent, lease, exchange real estate, or close such a transaction. To negotiate, offer, attempt to do any of the above. Offer, attempt, or agree to negotiate a mortgage loan, because yes, we do help them. We help clients negotiate. Not as often, but it is part of our job to help them. Offer, attempt, or actually collect rent, solicit, or direct procurement of prospects, or provide assistance in locating rental housing. If you do any of these, you must have a license. If you do any of these for compensation, let's correct that, for compensation, right? And I assume that most people don't work for free, so you would only be doing these for a compensation. Now, depending on the type of homes that you're using, that you're helping people buy or sell or rent, you might have to know more laws. For instance, mobile homes. If you're trying to help somebody with a resale of mobile homes, then you also have to know regulations of MVC, Motor Vehicle Commission. Okay? So who wants to deal with mobile homes? Nobody, right? I mean, it's already tough to deal with real estate as it is. I mean, not that tough, but real estate regulations as it is. Imagine dealing with mobile homes as well. All right. Who does not require a license? Very similar to the national portion. Who does not require a license? So exemptions. Property owners selling their own property without representation. We call these FSBOs. Okay? Not frisbees, which we toss around. Not the frisbees. FSBOs. For sale by owner. Meaning not for sale by agent. For sale by owner. They're selling their own house or renting their own house. Okay? Without representation. Because it is their own house, right? Because it is their own house, they don't need a license. Okay? So I remember, I think Joel, you had asked me in the past, can I sell my own home? Do I need to bring it through the agency? And I said, no. If it's your own home, you don't need to, right? But just like for sale by owners, I remember telling you, just like for sale by owners, there's not much exposure on the market if you do for sale by owner. Where are you going to list? You're going to advertise on Facebook, on Craigslist? Great. How many people are looking for that? How much is it going to cost you to advertise? And this is why we use representation, because we have our own network of other realtors that have people looking to buy. So when we do a combination of all of them between Facebook, Craigslist, right, Instagram, and MLS, those are the highest chances you're going to get your house sold, right? So can you sell your own home? Yeah, you can. Absolutely. The problem is exposure, right? Who else does not need a license? Persons operating under an order of a court, executors, trustees, legal guardians, and administrators. The key word, if you see in the state exam, under a court order. So if the court is involved and says, hey, Ed, you're going to help Tina sell her home, okay? See, because the court appointed Ed, that's it. Ed does not need a license. It was a court appointment. Now, if Ed feels good about it, oh, this was great helping Tina sell a home. I want to do this every day, right? As soon as Ed engages in the real estate transaction, the real estate world, right? Like a separate transaction keeps on going, then he needs a license, right? If he expects compensation. Banks, trust companies and insurance companies. Look, it says insurance companies, doesn't say broker. Company. Companies are exempt. Banks, companies, trust companies, or insurance companies, they are exempt from licensing. I'm an insurance broker. Do I need a license to help somebody sell real estate? Let me know in the chat. If I'm an insurance broker, do I need a license to help somebody sell real estate? So you're telling me that I can help you guys sell real estate? Is that what you're telling me? I guess you're not listening to something. I'm an insurance broker. Insurance. If I'm an insurance broker, guys, all I can do is help somebody get an insurance policy. That's it. For real estate, thank you, Rose. No, I cannot. She says no. Right? But the answer is no, it's not this. You guys are not listening. You guys are not listening. I'm an insurance broker. The problem is, in your mind, you heard the word broker. And when you see the question in the school or in the state exam, which I guarantee you there's going to be a question somewhat similar to this. When you see the question in the school or state exam, and you see insurance broker, you're going to assume the same thing you guys are assuming now. Okay? If I'm an insurance broker, I still need a license. Right here. I still need a license. The exemption is for insurance companies. The exemption is not for insurance brokers. If I'm an insurance broker, do I need a license to help somebody sell? Yes, I still need a license to help somebody sell real estate because I'm an insurance broker. I'm not an insurance company, nor am I a real estate broker. Okay, and I think this is the what Tina wrote here. Tina wrote, you already have one if you're a broker, right? See, the part you did not hear was insurance. I'm a broker, but not for real estate, for insurance. That's where the problem is. So you guys need to pay attention to these details. Okay. This morning, a student failed. The state exam by 3 points. Okay. Not my student. He sent me, is watches YouTube once in a while, and he sent me the score report. Right, by 3 points. If you missed by 3 points, I guarantee you guys the problem is you not seeing everything that you're supposed to see. Right? You fell for the trap, insurance broker. Insurance brokers are not exempt because they're insurance brokers. Unfortunately, right, and I'm developing on this because unfortunately in the state exam there's a lot of traps. And I've proven over and over and over and over again with you guys, we're almost at the end. I've proven over and over and over again with you guys that there's a lot of traps, a lot of tricks, and I keep on bringing it out. You need to pay attention. The exemptions were, let's repeat this. So not for the broker. The exemptions were for sale by owner, so if I'm selling my own house without representation, okay? People that are appointed by a court order, or banks, trust companies, and insurance companies. These are exempt from the license, okay? Insurance brokers are not. Because again, insurance, it's not real estate. Okay? It's not real estate. So insurance brokers, they're not licensed to sell real estate. They're licensed to sell insurance policies. Just like attorneys. Attorneys, while operating the normal law practice, right, they're okay. They can go ahead and help somebody, like somebody in a divorce, right, or probate. They can help somebody sell the assets, right, during their normal law of practice. But while operating in general real estate brokerage activities, now it requires a license. So it's the same concept I said with Ed. If Ed starts helping somebody because the court said, yeah, help Tina sell, right? And Ed goes like, oh, that felt good. I like this real estate thing. I want to get involved in the real estate thing. Well, Ed, you were appointed by the court order for that one deal. You do more than this, you need a license, right? Attorneys, the same thing. You do more than that one deal for that client, right? You get involved in general real estate brokerage activities. Now you need a license, all right? Can you explain how the companies are exempted? All right. So both banks, trust companies, or insurance companies, banks as lenders, trust companies, or insurance companies are limited, right, to what they can do with a property. But they have clauses that say if at any point you, the client, endanger the asset that we are investing in, right, we have the right to sell. So banks, trust companies, or insurance companies, right, LLCs, corps, whatever, they're entitled to sell assets because they have some type of beneficial interest in the property. If you guys read your policies, there's some type of notice there that if you purposely damage the property, lenders, right, can sell your property. Trust companies, it's a little different. Trust companies, that means you appointed somebody to sell the property. Or insurance companies, again, based on the intentional damage to the property. Okay. Yes, there is some type of limitation. They cannot just do real estate because they want to. No, it goes back to the same thing, right? While operating the normal law, or while under order of a court, and so on. And even the banks and insurance companies, they might have to go through court in order to enforce that particular right. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tara, if you're listening, Tara, this was a one-time deal on this one, but I will reopen for you, okay? Don't start unless, so guys, if you ever do the practice exams or any exam that I send you online, do not start unless you intend to finish, right? So you have to take up to 4 hours. I'm just being honest here. You have to take up to 4 hours away from your schedule and be fully focused on this. Some people finish in 1 hour, some people finish in 2, 3, whatever. But reserve, just like the state exam. Treat my exams, please, right? They're for free to you. They cost me, but I just want to make sure you guys understand. Treat my exams as if it was a state exam. It's not about the money thing, right? They're free for you. I get charged every time you take an exam. It's not about the money thing. It's about you treating it and this whole class or course with the same respect that you're going to have to treat it in the state exam, which is there's somebody watching you and they don't allow you to do whatever you want. You cannot say, so Sarah, I'm not saying I'm not saying you don't respect it. My point is you sent me a message saying you had to go to work so you didn't finish. My point is understand what you're about to do. It's not like you're disrespecting it. When I say treat it with the same respect, is understand that you have to block those 4 hours, right? It could be less, it could be more, but block those 4 hours for you to take the exam, right? And this is for everybody. Rose, you've been testing, so I appreciate that. And Tara, you tested, I appreciate that. And some of you have tried already to test. Great, right? These are Don't worry, Tara. What my point was not about the. You don't have to apologize. This is for you. My point is for you. If you treat it with that same respect, meaning, uh, one, remove the outcome. That's the first thing I do. Like, remove the outcome so you're not fearful of, oh, I gotta pass, or else. No, don't do that. Is, I'm gonna do my best and let's see what happens. I'm gonna do my best and let's see what happens. That's it. But respect it for you, right? I've had people, some people that are right now in the class as well. I had people start the exam 2 minutes later leave. Like, what was the point then, right? You see what I'm trying to say? What was the point? Were you really serious about doing it, right? Make sure it's not for me, it's for you. So make sure when you tackle the exam, and I try to create these exams, by the way, I try to create these exams as close to the state exam as possible in terms of format, especially with tricks like this, right? And I make it available to you guys so you guys can take as many times as you can, right? Except so Tara, for you, I made a special one based on the previous result. I just wanted to have another look at it. That's why. But so I made one tougher for Tara, right? That's all. So you guys know I made one really tough for her, right? And then she had to go to work. Unbelievable. All right. Anyway, so the point is, yes, actually, as I was going to tell you, the final week, which is this week. As of this week, as of the New Jersey portion, so that's why I'm also addressing the exams, Joel. As of today, you guys can start practicing the exam. So you can go to the student portal. Let me show you guys. Okay, go to student portal. You're going to scroll down. Also, don't do like some people. Okay, I had somebody. Why is the sad face, Tara? I had some people. They're in the middle of this, right? And this thing pops up and says, "We are here," right? They're in the middle of the test. Bruno, how do I answer question 18? I'm like, okay. The point is you practice, right? You fail if you have to. And then I'll explain. Not during the test, because that's not how it works in the state exam, right? Okay. All right, Tina, we got somebody watching. Hey, hey. All right. So, guys, go here and test yourself. Okay. Pretend you're in the state exam. Block everybody out. Okay. So, Tina, I see a baby walking around. So, here's the thing: when you take the exam, make sure you have a free closet so you can put the kid there. Okay. Just saying. Lock it. Lock the closet. That's all. No, I'm serious though, because when you go to the state exam, whether you go there or you do it at home, they will disqualify right away if there's anybody walking around. If they see you talking to somebody, if they see you going like this, right, Miss New York? Right? The moment they see you looking up or talking to somebody, that's it. They'll tell you this exam is over. Call us back when you're ready. Right? So I want you to treat this exam the same way, okay? The practice exam, but test yourselves. Very, very important. All right. Tara, don't worry about it. I was just making a point. Again, it's for you guys. Every resource I have here, it's really not. It's not about me. I make it for you guys. So make sure you respect yourself. You know, respect yourselves when you go do it. Like, meaning, like, this shot. This is the shot I have. That was my point, right? And I'm going to be fully focused so I understand what the question was. That's what I meant. Tina says, so someone watches you. Yep. Just like here. When you guys take my school exam, it's going to be over a Zoom session, right? Some schools, for some reason, hold on. Some schools, for some reason, I'm so sorry, just 1 second. Okay. So some schools, for some reason, they're giving out the class exam, the final one, and people just do whenever they want. Not supposed to be like that, because then, hey, you're doing the exam and you have a book open. You're doing the exam and you're searching online. It's not supposed to be like that in the state of New Jersey. Other states, they allow you to do the test online in a website or whatever. State of New Jersey, they already granted us the ability to do through Zoom, but not the ability to do it without being proctored. So when you do the class exam, I'm going to be here looking at you as you guys are taking the exam to make sure you're not cheating, right? When you do the state exam, same thing, okay? So make sure you have everything cleared. I'll send you guys a video of what is needed when you go take the exam. Okay. All right, moving forward. Okay. You guys remember that in the national portion, we talked about 2 types of licenses, right? Well, New Jersey has 2 types of licenses and then variations of them. Because in the national portion, we talked about the broker's license and the salesperson license. New Jersey differentiates all the licenses as being separate, but they're not. We have the broker's license, and as soon as you see broker, guys, if you see broker by itself, it means broker of record. That means this is the one person in the state of New Jersey that allows you to operate a real estate business, to hire and supervise salespersons, and charge and accept compensation for services. Only the broker of record can operate a real estate business. Only a broker of record can hire and supervise employees, right? The salespersons, I'm sorry, and other brokers. And only the broker of record can get paid for the service. You guys will get a split from it, but you don't get paid directly. That's what we're saying here. In any real estate transaction, who gets paid? The broker. Do you get paid? No. Because the seller does not pay you, the buyer does not pay you. They pay the broker. And then there's your independent agreement with the broker. That's where you get paid for all the transactions that you concluded, okay? Next we have is broker salesperson license. Broker salesperson license. Now, if you guys remember the national portion, this falls under salesperson. It's one of the categories under salesperson. See, broker salesperson is somebody that qualifies to become a broker, and they did so, right? But they choose to work in the salesperson capacity. Therefore, they're under a broker. They're listed their license under a broker. Got it? Then we have the salesperson, which is the license you guys are getting, or most of you are getting. The salesperson license, right? Allows a licensee to engage in transactions, so you can get involved in the transactions, only under the broker's supervision and in the broker's name. So, for instance, let's say that this is New Direction Realty. Right? It's New Direction Realty. Guess what? This is the flag that I wear. Right? This is the flag that I bear. This is the flag that I represent. And the best thing in the world is this flag. If I'm happy where I am, then this is who I represent. If I'm not happy, let's say it's Remax that I want to go to, then move. But don't rave or do deals with Remax if you are under this flag. You guys understand? So you are under the supervision of one broker of record. You're under the supervision of that broker. I'm sorry, you do all the deals on behalf of that broker, and you can only receive compensation from that broker. You got it? So if I'm your broker, I'm the one responsible for supervising you. If I'm your broker, I'm the one responsible for paying you. You are the one responsible to bear my name, my flag, and represent me to the best of your ability. You guys got it? Thumbs up? Nadia's having fun off camera. Okay. Anyway, next, there's another type of salesperson, referral. See, until 2018, right? Till 19 actually is when that ended. But until 2018, we had the referral license. Now we have something weirder. Instead of referral, we have Slururk. This is your license now. It's the Slururk license. What does Slururk means? It's a salesperson licensed with a real estate referral company. So back in the day, you had referral license. Now it's broker, right? And the broker has to open two companies. There's the active, there's the referral company. Okay. So for instance, we have New Direction Realty, active company, and we have New Direction Referral Company. Okay. So under the active company, we have broker salespersons, and we have salesperson. Under the referral company, we have salesperson. Right? Well, Bruno, what's the difference between salesperson in the active company and salesperson in the referral company? The difference is that they imposed on us now the regulations. So before, you used to have a referral license and you could be here. Now they're forcing us to have two companies, one active for the people who are actively in the business, and a referral company for salespeople that will refer only. Okay? That's why you are a Slururk, salesperson licensed with a referral company. All right? So this is what happens. Broker is now responsible for these two. And then under the active, we can have broker salespeople and we can have salespeople. And separated, completely separated, these are the people that only have a referral license. Same office. But how do we determine offices? Okay, so it could be the same location, right? We're at 18 Oliver Street, right? You guys can see right here, 18 Oliver Street. Suite 301 is for the realty. Suite 302 is the school. So on Suite 301, we have New Direction Realty, okay? And Suite 301, same suite, we have referral company. What differentiates the office here, right? Always, for state purposes, what differentiates the offices, it's the LLC or the corp or whatever way you set it up. So yes, Ahmed, two different entities, tax ID and all. Yep. And the broker has to maintain that for the referral license. Yes. Okay. So that's why in August 2018, a new law replaced the referral agent license with a new license, which is the Slururk right here. And referral agent licenses must be licensed in another appropriate license category as a license renewal cycle ending as of January 30th. So as of, June 30th. So as of June 30th of last year, everybody switched from referral to clerk. Okay? The only thing people here can do is refer. That's it. That's all you can do is refer. So if you're on this one, on this side, again, if you're on this side, you can only refer. If you're on this side, you're active, you can do whatever you want. All right, make sure you guys highlight this. Very, very important. We did talk about it in the national portion, but some states you need to have at least one broker. I mean, one broker, right? To be the broker of record. Right here. Can we all be partners and open up a real estate company? Yes, we can. But one of us has to be the broker. Now, when you see broker by itself, guys, what does this mean? Let me know in the chat. When you see broker by itself, what does it mean? Kinda. I love everybody in my class. Amazing. All right, what does it mean? Of record. Okay? And yes, employing broker, but it's the broker of record. Okay? Right, Nadia? Rose says he is the principal. Okay, let me address what Rose just said. Okay, great. For Rose, yes. The broker is your direct principal because you're an agent of the broker. All right, so let me address that. Very, very important. We'll talk about agency in a different chapter. But, okay, so if you have the broker and you're the agent, salesperson. Okay. The broker is your principal. And you are the agent of your broker. That is true. Okay. But, Rose, pay attention to this because depending on the question, and everybody else, pay attention to this, depending on the question, things change. Because if we're dealing with a seller, there's a broker. And we are the salesperson. In this case, the seller is the client or principal. If they hired us, see, principal again, right? That means that the broker is the agent and we are the sub-agent. Okay? Rose, take the caps off. I hate when people yell at me. Just writing in all caps. So yes, now the seller is the principal because they're the client. They're the ones that hired us. Okay? Remember, the broker is the only one that can represent somebody. The broker is the only one that can collect monies from somebody. Right? What we do, everything we do is on behalf of the broker that's representing the seller. You don't have to say sorry. It's just $4.99 plus tax, okay? Go ahead, keep on using caps, guys. I'm gonna send you a bill. All right, are you guys understanding this? So yes, your broker is your principal to whom you owe specific duties, as we just said here. So if you go based on the agency laws, right? We did say right here, you're working for that one broker and get paid from only that broker. Doing everything under the name of the broker. So yes, in this instance, your broker is the principal. Once you deal with the seller or deal with the buyer, then the seller and the buyer become the principal. And who's representing them? Not you. I mean, you're the one that knocked on that door, right? But it's not you. Your broker is the one that represents them. They don't do anything, by the way. They don't do anything. They're not the ones that go there and see the property with you. They're not the ones preparing the contract with you. But they are the ones responsible for all your actions when you're dealing with a seller. So again, the seller is now the principal because they hired you. Or I could say buyer, right? But in this case, seller. They're now the principal. You are the broker is the agent of that principal to whom we owe specific duties, right? That was chapter 11, agency, right? And you are a sub-agent of the seller because you are an agent of the broker, all right? So guys, very, very important. This is one of the things, chapter 11, and we're going to talk about this later in a different chapter, but very, very important. This is one of those things, agency is one of those things that you guys fail the most in the state exam, right? Or struggle with the most in the state exam. So make sure you guys are focused when we read chapter 11, okay? Especially chapter 11. Yeah, salesperson is under the broker. Yes, Ed, perfect. Joel, to make a corporation, do I need a broker license? So, Joel, for us to open up a corporation for the intent of conducting real estate business, if you're trying to conduct real estate business for other people, because I open LLCs for my own businesses, right? Not a problem. I don't need a license because it's my own properties, my own business, whatever. But the moment you're trying to help somebody else, Joel, the moment you help somebody else sell their home, buy their home, or rent their home, you need to have one broker as being you or your partner. Okay? So again, can we all open a real estate office right now? The answer is yes. But if we're helping other people sell their homes, then we need to have at least one officer licensed as a broker. Got it? Typing? You guys forget the simple rule of putting a question mark before you type. If I do it, okay. I like the direct translation. Okay. So you're saying if you do it under the name, right? You thought about Baco, right? So if you do it under the name of that, I speak Spanish. So if you do under the name of the broker, no. You cannot have a corporation under the name of your broker in the state of New Jersey. Cannot. No. So we go here. The only person that can have a real estate company to help other people buy, sell, or rent, the only person that can have a real estate company to help people buy, sell, or rent is the broker. You as a salesperson cannot have a corporation to help other people. You're here as an individual, Now, Joel, can you have a corporation to buy and sell real estate for yourself? That's a different story. If you're helping other people buy or sell real estate, everything is under your broker. You're an individual, not a corporation, not in the state of New Jersey. No. So you cannot have a separate company to act as a salesperson. Nope. Only broker. Can you have a separate company to act as an investor? Yes. I have my own companies for my own properties that I buy, fix, and flip or hold. My own LLCs. That's different. But as a salesperson, as a broker salesperson, as a referral, individual only in the state of New Jersey. Nope. So again, keep businesses separate. Well, you can have a corporation only for yourself if it's for the intention of buying or selling or managing your own properties. Okay? If you want to help Ed, or if you want to help, I'm just going by the people I have next to you, or Daniela, if you want to help them, then no. You need to have a salesperson license under a broker's company. Okay? But if it's your own property that you're managing, not a problem. You have your own corporation, not a problem. If you're helping the people that are around you buy or sell their own real estate or manage their own real estate, then they need to have a salesperson license under a brokerage. Good? Great. Where were we? Non-resident license. Can somebody in California get a New Jersey license? The answer is yes, they can, if they go through the same course that you guys are going through, 75 hours. And if they, so the requirements right here, and if they also consent to be sued in the state of New Jersey. So can get a license in New Jersey? The answer is yes, as long as they go through the same licensing requirements. Can we have unlicensed assistants? Can I have somebody that does not have a license help me? Yes, for certain things, right? They cannot perform any task that requires a license. So what can they do? They can answer phones. They can set up filing systems and procedures. They can submit listings to the MLS. They can write advertisements with the broker's approval, deposit deposits, compute commission checks, place signs on the property, have keys made for listed properties at the broker's direction, order inspections in the broker's direction, set up appointments, type contracts for broker's approval, or follow up on loan applications. So there's a lot of things that your unlicensed assistant can do. And if you notice, none of them have to deal directly with clients. So let's figure out what they cannot do. They cannot prospect for clients. There's a lot of agencies out there and agents that require they get individuals to work with them without a license and cold calling. That means they're going through a list and they're calling people they don't know. We are licensed, we can do that. Unlicensed people cannot. They cannot knock on doors. They cannot do anything when it comes to directly with clients. They cannot host open houses, show property, answer questions on listings, attend home inspections without the broker, discuss contracts with anyone outside the firm, negotiate commissions or fees on behalf of the broker, accept commission based on a percent of a compensation based on a percent of commission, or call to collect rent payments. So pretty much what we're saying is your assistant can do clerical work, office work, okay? To follow up calls and all that stuff, but they cannot deal directly with a client. That's something that only you can do, a salesperson. You guys get it? All right, very important you understand the difference between licensed assistants and unlicensed assistants. Licensed assistant can do anything, okay? Unlicensed, they cannot do any of these things. Make sure you know this, any of these things. And what's the problem, guys? What's the problem with doing any of these things? I mean, what's the big deal? Right, like an open house. An open house is an open house. You open the door and people walk in and out, right? Open house. What's so wrong about it? A home inspection? You're not the one doing the home inspection. The inspector is. What's so wrong about it? Can anybody tell me? Let me know what you think. Let's see. You represent the broker, assistant cannot. Okay. Everything is under your responsibility. Okay. They violate license laws. Okay. But why? Rose says liability. Let's hold on to that one. Okay, so that goes with the responsibility, for instance. But why? Because they didn't take Bruno's class. Okay. But why can't a non-licensed assistant host an open house? I'll give you an example. Like Ed's wife, Kelly, she's licensed. Can Ed go do an open house for Kelly? Ed, can you do an open house for Kelly? Why not? That's my question. Why can't you? Why can't I ask you, Ed, to go show houses for me? Why? Why can't I ask you, Ed, to go distribute promotional material? What's so wrong about it? What's the issue with it? Not just because they're not licensed. What's the issue with it? Jen, no. The answer is no. As far, yeah. They don't know the law. Okay, hold on. We got Rose says because anything you say can be held against you. The problem, guys, the problem is questions. If your unlicensed assistant answers questions, that's the problem. Look what could happen at an open house. At an open house, I'm going to open the door. Come on in, right? And they see the house. And they love the house and be like, this is an amazing house. Why? Because this is the most common question in an open house or any listing, right? Why are they selling? Imagine that your assistant says they're selling because they're going through a nasty divorce. Imagine your assistant said that, guys. If your assistant answers something like that, what do you think the buyer, the potential buyer that's there in the open house, what do you think the potential buyer is going to do? What is going to be their position there? What would you do? What would you do? If I told you that the seller is selling because they're going through a nasty divorce. Oh, great. You'll make an offer. Any offer, Jessica? Any offer? They're listing for $300,000. Cheap offer. You would lowball it. You'll drop the price. That's it. Low offer. Exactly. So your assistant, let's go back to liability, right? Right? Your assistant just damaged the seller's negotiating position. So your assistant endangered the seller's value. Are you guys understand that? That is why our assistants cannot go there and deal with clients directly without us present. What the assistant should have done in this scenario, like, look, I'm not the salesperson. Let me get the salesperson for you. He or she will be able to answer these questions. You guys got it? All right? That's what you have to do. So Ed, if you were showing a house, you could be there. There's nothing wrong with your being there, right? But as soon as somebody asks you a question, you have to say, hey, Kelly, come here. These people have a question. Or say, hey, just give me a second. Let me get the salesperson. Right? There's nothing wrong with your being there. You guys understand this? Right? Very, very important. Now, as soon as you become licensed, Ed, now you guys can do the most amazing thing that there can be in the business, which is being a power couple and both of you can back each other up. Right? That's the most powerful thing. If both people can help each other, that's it. You guys are going to be limitless. Right? As an individual, I'm limited. As two, no limits. You guys understand? So that's it. 50-50. Come on, you're the man of the house, ask for more. It's a joke. It's a joke. Guys, I don't think like that. I think 50-50. But but the point still is, as an unlicensed right now, right, Ed, and I know you probably help Kelly a little bit, but as unlicensed, what can you do? Not much more than what we said before, which is you could answer a few calls, right? You can help her by Pedro says that he gives more, right? So if she's only giving you 50-50, we pay a little bit more in commission. That's what he said. Anyway, so you can answer phones. You can help her organize and create procedures for her files. You can submit listings to the MLS while she's out there trying to get more deals. Right? Does this make sense? These are things that you can do while you're not licensed. As soon as you become licensed, that's it. You can also do these things now. Right? If she's not available, you'll run to do the open house. You run to show houses. You answer questions. You can do anything. Right? So you guys can tag team. That'll be great. Okay? Now to become licensed, real quick. To become licensed. You have to be in the state of New Jersey. To become licensed, you have to be at least 18 years of age or older. You need to provide your social security number. You need to prove U.S. citizenship or legal residence. You need to submit an application for licensure to commission. Pay non-refundable application fee. be high school graduate or equivalent, provide evidence of good moral character, submit fingerprints, and agree to a criminal history background check. So simple, right? For salesperson, so that's the basic requirement for all licenses. For salesperson, you have to complete 75-hour salesperson pre-licensing course, pass the New Jersey State examination, and you have to request your license issuance within 1 year, or you have to start over. 1 year from completing. Okay, so 1 year from completing pre-license course. Okay, so 1 year from completing pre-license course. What does that mean? As soon as you complete my course, that's when that 1 year starts. It's not from the moment you pass the state exam. It's from the moment you pass my exam. You have 1 year to activate your license. So if you pass my exam today and then you go take the state exam 6 months later, guess what? You only have 6 months to activate your license. All right? So very important. Right? And this is just to say, by the way, just to say, because some people go like, they pass my exam, they go like, on to the real exam. Well, you can't go to any exam without mine. And mine's the most important, okay? Because you have 1 year from my exam, not from their exam. Just saying. Right? Gotta give value, you know? I hate when people say that. Now on to the real exam. Listen, you pass mine, it's almost guaranteed you pass the state. That's it. All right, Ahmed is asking, provide evidence of good moral character. How do they verify that? Great question. So one of the things is with me, starts with me. If I feel that you guys are not, hey, Brandon just joined us. What's up, man? All right, so if I feel that you guys are not qualified to be out there on the street, if I feel that you guys are going to commit some type of fraud or you're not going to have the client's best interest, if that's what I feel, I can stop you right now. I mean, I'll let you take the exam if you want, but I will not issue a certificate. You understand? Without my certificate, without me uploading you to the state exam, you don't move forward. The second step is going to be your background check. They're going to do your fingerprints and they're going to check your background. If there's nothing significant there, well, you passed mine, you passed the background check. Now you just need a broker to say, yeah, it appears like this is a good person. That's it, right? So they will sponsor you. So those are 3 methods by which they verify good moral character. Sorry, Jen says, job description for assistant that they're asking for them to be licensed. Sorry, I'm a little lost on that. You saw a job description that's what it says, or are you saying the job description should say that? A little lost on that question. What I'm saying is because it could be both. I've seen job descriptions say, hey, assistant needed for real estate office, must be licensed, right? I've seen that, yeah. So it could happen, or just assistant. That's it. All right. Next, the Slurur license. Okay. I have a lot of fun with this one. Guess what? To be a referral or a Slurur, right? Either or, you need to do the same 75 hours pre-licensing course. Right? 75-hour pre-licensing course. And you need to pass the state examination. It's the same requirements, the exact same requirements for the salesperson license is the same requirement for the referral license. You also have to request a license issuance within 1 year. You need to obtain sponsorship by a New Jersey licensed broker or running a referral company. And there's one more requirement. For the referral license, the requirement is to certify that with the employing broker and the applicant have together reviewed all the legal restrictions on brokerage activity. Right? So, Mr. Joel, salesperson licensed with a referral, real estate referral company. That's what it is. We said that before. It's just that as an acronym, it's literally slurwork, right? But I have fun with it. Anyway, we have to go through the exact same requirements, and at the end, we also have to sign, right? We have to sign that we understand, right here. We have to sign that we understand the legal restrictions on broker activity. What are the legal restrictions? You cannot talk about real estate. You cannot show houses. You cannot participate in any way, shape, or form in the real estate transaction. Do you understand this? Yes or no? Yes? Great. Sign here. And I'm your supervising broker, and all you can do is refer. Because this is a referral license. All you can do is refer. That's it. So, very simple. Joel, I have a buyer for you. Brandon is the buyer. Joel, meet Brandon. Brandon, meet Joel. And what's going to happen is, Joel, you're going to take over. Brandon, I don't work this area. Joel is the professional in this area. So you're going to work with him. Is that okay? If Brandon says okay, if Joel says okay, I'm out of the picture. I cannot do anything else. That's it. Once I referred, that's it. Can I follow up with Brandon once in a while to say, hey, did you ever close? Did this ever happen? Right? How's it going? How's your experience? Can I follow up? Yes. Can I talk about the deal itself? No. Can I talk about real estate? No. Because my license is just a referral license. Period. All I can do is say, hey, Brandon, here's Joel. Joel, here's Brandon. Fight. That's it. All right? And then later on, Joel, I'm going to show up to say what? Where's my money? There you go. That's it. Jen, like I said, some jobs, yes, they do ask for that. Some they don't. So if they're asking, sorry, just going back to YouTube real quick. So if you're asking, if the job asks for you to be an assistant licensed in real estate, but that means that what they're asking for is for you to be able to answer phones, show houses, and whatever, right? That means they're going to provide you certain leads and you're going to get paid the salary, right? But those leads belong to the office, not to you. You're an assistant, right? So let's be very clear about that. A licensed assistant, you're working 9 to 5, but all the leads that come through are mine. The good thing about it is you have a salary. The great thing about it is I can pay you a bonus. The best thing about it for me, right, is I don't have to work the leads. You do. Simple. That's what it is, Jen. Don't worry about the 1.5% is going to be there for your broker. 1.5? You get that 1.5 from? Who's giving 1.5? All right. Broker. Who wants to become a broker? Raise your hand if you want to be a broker eventually. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. Sorry, I'm such a geek. I was gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock rock, but many people will not get it. Song back in the days. Anyway, so where was I? Broker. If you want to become a broker, these are the requirements. These are the requirements. You must have been continuously employed on a full-time basis. That means 4 hours a week as a New Jersey licensed salesperson. Who too long? No. Who listed, sold, leased properties for at least 3 years, immediately preceding the broker application. All right? So, Rose says too long. There's exemptions. I'm going to address those real quick. But what I want you guys to remember is that in 3 years, what do you really know? Some people in 3 years don't do one single deal. Some people in 3 years, they do 200 deals. Everybody's different. What the Real Estate Commission feels is that in 3 years, you have some type of well-rounded experience with different types of situations. So it's okay for you to become a broker. I think it should be based on experience. I think it should be based on what you can prove that you've done or not, right? Because again, 3 years, if you haven't done anything, what's the point of being a broker? How can you guide somebody if you haven't done nothing? You guys understand? So 3 years, all right? You must complete a 150-hour broker pre-licensing course, and which includes 90 hours in general broker pre-licensing coursework, 30 hours in broker ethics and agency law and relationships, and 30 hours of office management. Now here comes the question. Ready? Question. How many hours of education do you need to become a broker? How many hours of education do you need to become a broker? Jen is like, Bruno, do you need an assistant? I need 10 assistants right now. 10 assistants. They're licensed, even better. Okay. Anyway, these hours are incorrect. Tara for the win. I'm going to hold on to your answer for a second. I'm not going to show it yet, okay? Let me go here. How many hours do you need to become a broker? Ahmed, Tina, okay. Now, Tara, you are correct. Now, for Ahmed and Tina, can you guys tell me how you figured it out? Oh, Nadia's with us. All right. I spoke to you, Nadia. Don't give me that. They can vouch. The other people can vouch that I called your name 3 times already since 5:40, and not once did you answer. Anyway, how did you figure this out? Tina says 75 hours for this course and 150 hours for broker's course, and the answer is correct. You were Miss New York when I called you the first time. You were Nadia when I called you the second and the third. Check your WhatsApp real quick. Telling you you're in trouble today. Check it. Telling you you're in trouble today. Ah, see that? You guys forget the cameras are on you. I see every single one of you. You guys forget that. All right. Jen says I like the bonus part. There you go. The bonuses are for licensed, but yes, we cannot give bonuses to unlicensed assistants. So careful with that. All right, so why is it 225 hours? Guys, remember the question. The question was how many hours, right? Pay attention to the question because the state exam has 2 potential questions for this, okay? If they do show up. The first one is, how many hours do you need to become a broker? Now, if you guys pay attention to the question, I never qualified you as a salesperson, right? That means you need the first 75 hours, and then you need 150 hours in the future. But if the other question popped up and says, hey, John is a salesperson and wants to become a broker, how many hours does he need? See, the qualifier is that he's a salesperson, therefore he already completed the 75. He's a salesperson. How many hours does he need now? 150. You understand? So you need to pay attention, guys. I'm always going to trick you. You need to pay attention to these qualifiers. Right? It's the little details that change the whole meaning to the question. How many hours do you need to become a broker? It's a broad question. If it's a broad question, well, it's 225 because it's 75 for this course plus 150 for the brokers later on. Okay? Got it? Okay, cool. Miss New York got upset, thought she had lost her title. The ribbon, right? Right. Don't worry, you still Miss New York. Just stay with me for a little bit, okay? You need to pass the state examination, and you need to request the issuance for within 1 year or start over. All right, broker salesperson has to meet all the requirements of the brokers as well. Examination. The state of New Jersey, guys. In the state of New Jersey, PSI Services is the company that administers the test. Okay? They give you up to 4 hours to complete the test, and it's scored immediately, meaning right away you get your results as a pass or a fail, and then they send you by email the actual results now. Applicants must receive a score of 70 or higher to pass the examination. If you don't get 70, you can retake. I just want to show you this real quick. 70 means 70%. That's the easy part. You guys got it, right? The thing is that in the state of New Jersey, there's 110 questions. That means to reach 70%, you need to answer 77 correct. The reason why I'm saying this is some of you are going to send me a message later on. I already know how it is. Saying, hey, Bruno, I thought it was 7%, 70%. I had 72. No. What they'll show you is that you had 72 correct answers out of 110. Okay? To have a 70% passing score, you need 77 correct answers out of 110. All right? So I'm giving you the upfront notice, that you will be wrong when you text me later on. Okay? Just saying. Hopefully you pass. Right? That's what we're looking for. But if for any reason you do not pass that day, don't come at me and say, hey, I had 72 or I had 73 or whatever. Yeah, I thought you said 70%. Okay, just saying. And my exam, by the way, just so you guys know, the school exam, you need to pass with a 75%, which is 83 correct questions. You need 83 correct questions. I'll make it tougher. So then when you go here, what happens? You pass. This one you have 2 tries included. This one costs you $45 every time you go there. Okay? So if you have to fail here. Okay? Fail my exam if you have to fail. Okay? And when I say fail, means you learn about the exam, means you get to understand what the exam is like, so you come the second time and you nail it. And then you go to the state exam and you nail it as well. Okay? This is why I give you the practice exams. That's why I give you the axis. Test, 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 until you can't no more. Ed, to answer yours, is right here. Oh, by the way, something else. Something else. In the state exam, they add an additional 10 questions with 0 value. They have an additional 10 questions with 0 value. So you're going to see in your exam 120 questions, but there's only 110 with value. The extra 10 questions are there just fluff to help you. They're like very easy questions, just fluff. Can you take notes while testing? What kind of notes do you want to take? While testing my exam? The practice exam? If it's the practice exam, you're going to receive the answers so you can study and see what you had wrong, right? And try to understand it. If it's state exam or the school exam, the final exams, you're entitled to have a blank piece of paper and a pencil as you test. That's it. Okay? And a plain old simple calculator. That's it. Okay? But you cannot take notes while you test. In fact, at the end, by the way, at the end of the exam, that blank page, You have to show both sides, and they ask you to rip it into pieces before it's over. Yep. Crazy, right? Anyway, back to this. By the way, I'm going to piggyback real quick on what Jen was saying. She was asking if I needed an assistant, right? On a serious note, I am going to send an email throughout this next week. I'm going to send an email to all the students, right? And we are hiring, right? We are hiring. We need the assistants, several assistants actually. We are hiring, and I'm going to send an email with the different positions that we're hiring for. Make sure you guys follow the quiz. It's going to be like a questionnaire. It's going to be a questionnaire with what we're looking for, and then your experience. So almost like a resume, but right on the spot based on what we're looking for. So we are hiring. I'm not recruiting for real estate. That's why I can do this over Zoom. Real estate, if you guys ever say, hey, Bruno, I want to interview with you guys, that's on you, right? That's a different story. We not recruit directly. But we are hiring, so if you know anybody that's looking for a job or wants just to be mentored and wants to learn, right? You're going to receive an email over this weekend, okay? So just reach out. If you know anyone, right? Maybe it's not you, but if you know anyone, just make sure you fill it out or send the link to them so they can fill it out, okay? My business partner, I'm telling you, he's always eavesdropping on the wrong things. He goes like, "We're hiring, right? When did we talk about this?" Anyway, so waivers. We can waive the education or the experience requirement. Education or experience. So education, right, means you might be able to get a Jersey license without doing the whole 75 hours or the 150 hours. Experience, that means you could become a broker without the experience, right? Let's figure out how you can do that. First of all, this right here, very important. May. You're going to find a lot of these in the state exam. May. Does this mean commission will waive? May. Every time you see may, there's a possibility. Okay? There's a possibility. If there's a possibility, it's not guaranteed. How can they waive? If you are disabled, U.S. veteran, right, who are also a New Jersey citizen, they will allow you to skip education and experience. You can go straight to broker. Straight to broker. Without the 3 years. Okay? Non-resident licensed brokers with 3 years of broker or salesperson experience on another state might be able to not have to show the experience. They still have to come through and do the course, but they might not need to show the 3 years, have the 3 years of experience in New Jersey. New Jersey brokers previously licensed within 5 years. Let's say 5 years ago you were a broker or a broker salesperson, and then now you decided to get back into the real estate game. Well, they waived the education. You might not have to do the 75 hours. Okay? And then attorneys, because they are in law and because they are in real estate, involved in real estate somehow, the education requirement, they bypass that as well. Okay? Somebody that did equivalent college education or out-of-state equivalent pre-licensing course, they might or may waive the education as well. How can we deny your license? How can we deny your license? Yes, the education is the 75 hours or the 150 hours. Yes. So how can we deny your application? Well, if you're currently on parole or probation, for instance, Applicants convicted within the previous 5 years of forgery, burglary, robbery, theft other than shoplifting, right? Because shoplifting is okay, so we know other than shoplifting. Any other kind of theft, right? Any other kind of theft right here, no good. If it's shoplifting, don't worry about it. Go ahead, shoplift as much as you can. Doesn't matter for the license. Criminal conspiracy to defraud or similar offenses. If your co-partnership, association, or corporation were a member or employee that has been convicted of any of these crimes, also the same thing, right? So any of these crimes, you don't get your license. Reciprocity. Reciprocity means we look at California and California says, hey, we have a license, real estate license, right? Jersey says, no, thank you. Okay? What about PA? PA is right next door. No, thank you. We don't like them, they don't like us. There's no reciprocity. You still have to get your class done. You still have to study and make sure you are sued in the state of New Jersey. That's it. All right, guys, we already covered this. You need to complete the educational requirements to get a license, register to pass the state exam, do your fingerprints, obtain a sponsoring broker. So very important, guys. If you haven't done yet, especially you're in the last week, right, the final week for this evening class, start interviewing brokers if you haven't done yet. You don't have to say that you are taking the course. Just go there and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting into the real estate business. Right? Go talk to brokers. I'm thinking about getting into the real estate business. Right? What do you guys have to offer? That's what you have to ask. Ask the broker what they have to offer. Start interviewing. There's nothing wrong with that. And then as soon as you pass the state exam, you bring the score report, right? Along with a criminal history background check, right? And the license fee payment, which is $160. And this changed, by the way. It's not to the state treasurer of New Jersey anymore. This just changed because of the whole pandemic. So it's not the state, now it's to the broker. So your broker, to activate your license, the broker is the one that submits to the state treasurer of New Jersey. But anyway, so you bring everything together to your broker along with $160, and your broker activates your license. So do you want to start interviewing after you pass, or do you want to activate right away? That's the question, right? So start interviewing brokers. The same thing for broker's license. Exactly the same thing. Activate. Now, license status. License status. Licenses are issued on a 2-year term. 2-year term. That means it's valid for 2 years only. It begins on July 1st of odd-numbered years and ends every June 30th of the next odd-numbered year. So your license is from, for instance, we're going to go into 2021. So your license needs to be renewed by July 1st, right? And it's valid until 2023. So even if you get licensed today, by June 30th, you have to pay the renewal to start the next license. There's no exceptions to that, okay? So you need to do the renewal right away. You don't have to do CE credits, continuous education, as we'll talk about. You don't have to do continuous education, guys, because you're within the 1-year period. But you do have to renew every June 30th for a new licensing period to start July 1st. Okay? Ahmed, yes, you can submit to the state directly and get your license issued, but it will stay inactive. You can do that. But do you really want to do that? Because I'm telling you right now, this is guaranteed. I'm betting if anybody's going to do this right now, this is my bet live, so everybody's listening. I bet right now, if you submit your license to the state to activate, to say you passed, you have 2 years to activate your license. I'm sorry, well, you already submitted to the state. But you have to activate your license. I can guarantee you, if you don't activate within the first couple of months, you'll never activate it. Guaranteed. You'll never activate your license. So the best time to activate your license is you pass the state exam and you run to your broker and say, hey, here it is. That's what we've been having. A few people this week, between last week and this week, has been amazing. They don't even come here for interviews. Some people that have been coming to us, either by referrals of our agents or sometimes at school, they don't even come to interviews. Like, hey, here we go. Okay, where do I sign? It's simple, guys. The rule is simple because it's active. Now you either do something with it or not, but at least you don't lose it right away. You understand? It doesn't guarantee you're going to make money just because you activated it, but now it guarantees that you can make money even by just referring. And I can guarantee you that every year or every 2 years, you're going to have at least one person that talks about sale, right, or rental of real estate. Guarantee. Somebody's going to talk about it. And then you can say, even if you don't want to do anything, you can say, whoa, whoa, whoa. You want to buy? You want to sell? You want to rent? Is that what I heard? Well, I'm licensed. I can help you. My team and I, like even if you don't do anything, my team and I, that's the key. Right? My team and I can help you buy or sell. That's the warmth right there when you talk to somebody. My team and I. Right? It's not me. It's my team and I. Do you guys understand? So get activated right away, even if you don't have the, you don't know where you're gonna go work. You have no idea. Like, you start interviewing. You don't even know. Like, I have people that never done anything with their license ever, but they keep on renewing for some reason, right? Never done anything with their license. They're just missing out on one thing. They forget the referrals. That's what I'm saying. My team and I, right? Big mistake. You're wasting a lot of money by not referring. Okay? I had an actual salesperson. This guy's been doing this for 16 years. He came to my office today, him and his brother. His brother's taking my morning class, right? And he's here and he's saying, like we were talking about this, it's so funny about friends and family, right? He was saying that my cousin, she just did this or she just did that. And I'm like, why are you saying she? Like she did it without you. Like, yeah, she did. She has her license, right? She forgot, apparently, that she even has a license. So she bought a house with somebody else, right? And she's licensed. She bought the house with somebody else. I guess she forgot the license altogether. The other thing she forgot is that she has a cousin that's very good at what he does, right? And went with somebody else. The guy's been doing this for 16 years. She just did this year. I mean, last year, I think he said. Crazy, right? But anyway, get your license activated, and at least one referral a year. Pays for all your fees and still puts money in your pocket. Guaranteed, or all your money back. Okay? So make sure you do something. Activate your license. Okay? Now, if your license expires, guys, if your license expires, let's say the renewal was now in June 30th, and you don't renew, well, they're going to give you 2 years to reactivate your license. If after 2 years you do not reactivate your license, it becomes void. What does that mean? If you want to jump back into the real estate game, guess what you have to do? Come back to class. Okay? You listen. I prefer you guys come back to me if that happens, right? But I can tell you also it's the same jokes. Pedro, my business partner, was complaining about that. Bruno, I listen to you every day. It's the same jokes. Come on, man. Material. Work on it. I try. It's just not easy. It's the same joke. So pass the first time, please. Okay? All right. Talked about this. Must reactivate it, doing everything else. Okay. Okay, continuing education. We are on page 407. Continuing education. Page 407. Every state now has continuing education. All right, we've been having it here in Jersey since 2011. They realized at one point that realtors were doing just whatever they wanted and they were not keeping up with times, or they were not ethical. So now, with every CE credit, they must complete at least 2 hours of ethics. Every 2 years, we have to remind you, hey, stop it. Right? This is wrong. All right? So don't do this, do that. So every 2 years, we have to remind you on how to behave. Look, it's only 12 hours. We're one of the states with the fewest CE credit hours. Okay, New York is like either 14 or 15 hours, something like that. Okay, but we only have 12. You can do it until April 30th. Your renewal of the license is June 30th, but they ask you to complete 2 months before. If you don't, there's $200 they're going to be charged as a late fee. Okay? So, option number 1 to complete your CE credits. 2 hours on ethics, 4 hours of core topics, and 6 hours of elective courses that includes ethics, core, electives, or combination of the 3, or you can have a lot of fun. You can do 12 hours of ethics. Never option 2. Letting you know right now. Never option 2. You will die listening to this. Your first 6 hours, you're going to say, nope, where's the other option? I guarantee you it's that bad. I mean, option 2 is painful. Option 2 is painful. I mean, you should definitely get into ethics, right? You should. But 12 hours straight? They divide it into 2 days. I would never do this unless it's mandatory. I'll give you the 2 hours of ethics. We'll talk about core topics like brokerage, for instance, right? And then elective topics like foreclosure, short sales, for instance, stuff like that. Fun stuff, right? Ethics are tough. All right, what are considered core topics? Agency, so Chapter 11. Disclosure, legal issues, ethics, fair housing, New Jersey law against discrimination, New Jersey broker and salesperson statute and regulations, state and federal environmental laws, escrow monies and financial record keeping legal requirements. These are core topics. Elective topics are commercial real estate, property management, seasonal rentals, Real Estate Sales Full Disclosure Act and real estate, Timeshare Act, financing, land use, right? These are all elective. Real estate valuation, and then my favorites, foreclosure and short sale transactions, and then specific aspects of residential real estate transactions. Okay? I just told you guys, if you complete your licensing within 1 year of the renewal, you don't have to do CE credits. So your CE credits, guys, is only going to be in 2023. You're safe for this first year. All right, guys, and all this stuff here we can skip. It's for the referral license, not heavily tested. Disciplinary procedures. We are on page 409. Disciplinary procedures. Now, under disciplinary procedures, we're talking about what did you do, right? We're talking about what did you do that the real estate commission has to step up and take action. That's pretty much it. That means you did something wrong. You're being investigated for potential fraud, or you did not care for your client, whatever reason might be, right? All those things that we talked about our profession, what are you supposed to do, right? So when the commission has reviewed the pleading, it may schedule a hearing wherein the accused appears before the commission. The accused is given a 10-day notice of a hearing, right? So that means they give you an opportunity to show up in front of real estate commission and say, hey, I'm sorry, it was not on purpose, I made a mistake, right? You'll never do it again. So you have an opportunity to dispute. If you don't show up or comply with any of the commission orders, with any commission order, this will result in sanctions being imposed upon you, right? Now, based on the findings of a hearing, the commission may rule to suspend or revoke the violator's license or place the violator on probation. Such rulings can be appealed to the New Jersey Superior Court. In addition to possible suspension, revocation, and probation, the violator may be ordered to pay restitution to the wronged party, right? So you're going to be penalized on probation, suspension, or revocation, and they also ask for money, right? You're going to pay fines, and you have to pay the other side, whoever suffered. Also, they might even ask you to pass another written examination, so you might have to come back to class depending on what you did, right? Ahmed, I said a bunch of things. As soon as I said get back to class, you went like, right? I'm okay with paying fines, but going back to class? You guys don't understand. I see all the people here, all the screens. That was literally what you did. It reminds you of DMV rules. Yeah, something like that. All right, let me ask you something, because this is a guaranteed question in the state exam. Something around this. If a broker knows, like I know, right, that you, salespeople, are violating the law, and I do not step in to tell you, hey, stop that, don't do this, right? Like, for instance, one of the most common things is the contract is like 14 pages, and you have to initial all the 14 pages, and you have to sign, on a couple of pages, right? And I tell you, hey, Ahmed, listen, on page 3, you forgot the initials of the buyer, right? I'm going to tell you this. And you're going to tell me, well, Bruno, don't worry about it. The buyer is just right outside. He's waiting in the car, right? All right, it's possible. I mean, guys, come on. Would you doubt? Right? Would you doubt him? No. First time, not a problem. Now, listen, you're my top producer, man. So I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you support. I'm gonna do whatever you need, right? You're my top producer. But here comes contract number 2, contract number 3, contract number 4. In all the contracts, they're missing the initials. The one initial on page 3 or page 4 or whatever. And Ahmed comes always with the same excuse. Don't worry about it, Bruno. Right? Broker Bruno, don't worry about it. The buyer is in the car. I'll be right back. How many times can I listen to this as a broker? How many times can I listen to this and not tell Ahmed and say, hey, listen, the buyer's in the car every single time. What, you tour the houses and you come to them with them to the office and you just leave them in the car? That's what you do when you come here, submit a contract, takes you an hour and you leave them in the car, right? Every single time? All right, a little fishy here, right? So this tells me that Mr. Badur, what he was doing is exactly what I thought he was doing. He was forging signatures, all right? So I should have stopped him. There was one day, guys, and listen to the stories because the stories do help later on, right? But there's this one day that the buyer says, one buyer says, transaction did not go through. Mr. Badur, I want to see my file. I want you to show me why this did not go through. Let's go step by step. Let me see that contract, right? And he sees the contract and is like, what is that right there? That's not my initial. That's not how I do it. Look at the other pages. That's not how I do it. Did you sign for me? Says the buyer, right? Now opens an investigation. Guys, here's the problem. Once it opens an investigation, if they can prove that I, broker, had guilty knowledge, meaning I knew about it, and I did not do anything to stop it, my license could be impacted as well. My license could be suspended or revoked as well. The problem is, guys, if my license gets suspended because of Mr. Badur's actions, if my license gets suspended, what happens to all your licenses? That's it. Because remember, I'm the sponsoring broker. So if I'm the sponsoring broker, guys, and I no longer have my license, you no longer have a license. So state of New Jersey, and almost all the states have the same thing. If the broker knows what's happening and loses his license as well, everybody, automatically, first thing that happens is you lose your license. The good news out of this is that whatever Mr. Badur did and me did, and I did as well because I knew about it, right? You are not at fault. If you are not at fault, you can transfer your licenses to a different broker. That's secondary. It's not the primary action. The primary action is licenses suspended. Primary action. What can you do after? You can be appointed to a different broker. All right, so remember that. Now, real estate guarantee fund, guys, we're almost done. Yep, that's what it is. Should hold the team accountable? No, what team? The broker is the one responsible, not the team. Oh, but just so you guys know, remember, this is the person, in my example, right? In my example, this is the person that forged a signature. And this is typical. This is typical of the person that commits the fraud, right? Goes like, hey, if I'm going down, everybody goes down. That's what he just said. If I'm going down, everybody goes down. How is it the team mistakes if you're the one that forged the signature in my example? Right? Bruno's voice. Anyway, if you make the mistake, how's everybody responsible for you? The broker is, no matter what. Right? But if you have a team leader, if you have team members, colleagues, they're not at fault for what you do. The broker is the one responsible for everything. Okay? Terrible. If I go down, everybody goes down. That's it. I saw this the other day. Guy was saying, like, my boys are always with me. If I need to hunt somebody, they'll hunt with me. If I need to beat up somebody, they'll beat up with me. If somebody shoots me, my boy's gonna get shot too. And the boy's like, no, wait a minute. What do you mean get shot? What do you mean? Wait. There's limitations here, man. There's limitations. I'm with you all the way. But if you're forging, no. I have to step in and say, no, stop right there. We're not going to keep on doing this. No. All right. Otherwise, hey, Miss New York, still distracted. Terrible. Kick people out of the room, please. Everybody out of the room. All right. So the problem is what he did caused a lot of trouble to somebody, to the buyer, to the seller, whatever. Caused a lot of trouble to somebody. Under New Jersey law, they can come after the real estate commission as well as the salesperson and the broker, right? But they first must obtain a lawsuit that names the guarantee fund or the real estate commission, right? So file a lawsuit against you, right? If the real estate guarantee fund pays out, if they pay out, the maximum that they can pay out is $20,000. If they do pay out the $20,000, your license is, pay attention, this is guaranteed state exam question. Pay attention, guaranteed state exam question. I'm going to start taking points from the distractions. That's it. Taking hours from your distractions. Anyway, your license will be revoked. Okay? Your license will be revoked until the licensee reimburses the fund the full amount paid plus interest. So guys, if the real estate commission does pay out of the fund, if they do pay out of the fund, your license will be revoked until you pay it all back plus interest. So no business until you pay back with interest. Okay? Any questions? If any questions, drop them now. All right? No questions, guys? So, why are vets? Because they deal with pets. It took you a while on that one, huh? Why are veterans exempt? I don't know. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. Why are they exempt? I don't know. I guess the Real Estate Commission is trying to help veterans when they come back and to do whatever with their lives. I just don't feel that's the best thing we can do for veterans. There's so many things we can do for them. To me, that's one of the worst. Like, we're going to give them a broker's license and go ahead, help people without knowing what you're doing. Right. Doesn't make sense to me. But what it is, I guess. All right, guys. Any other question? All right, we're going to go into a quick break. It is now 7:37, so we're going to come back at 7:50. All right? Oh, that you get close to listen, huh? So we're going to get back at 7:50. You're fired, Nadia. You're fired. That's it. Today is a bad day for you. We're going to get back, guys, at 7:50, so enjoy your break. YouTubers, I'm going to close this session. I'm going to open another one right after, okay? See you guys in a bit. Talk everything now, Nadia. Everything now during the break. Yeah, I see you.